Hi, this is Ben Hart with another edition of Beginning Breakdancing for Seniors. I'm age 65. I started breakdancing when I was 54. So if I can do it, you can do it. Today we're going to get down on the floor and we're going to try to learn one of the most basic steps in breaking called the 6 step. Sixth step was invented by a guy named Spy in New York City back in the 1970s. Now, ideally, you're supposed to be up on your fingers when you're doing your floor work, your footwork. B-boys call when you get down on the floor footwork. People who don't know breaking think of footwork as on your feet dancing, but in breaking, footwork is when you get down on the floor. So what you're supposed to do is do this up on your fingers because that gives you a couple of extra inches of space, which kind of makes footwork easier. But because I have a little bit of arthritis in my fingers and tendonitis and so forth because I'm age 65, I tend to keep my hands flat. I do a lot of things wrong with my 6 step because of my age. When you get to be my age, you just try to make do with what you've got. And I use these wrist supports right here. It helps support my wrist. They're called tiger paws. So they're what gymnasts use. Most breakers, young breakers, don't need this, but when you're age 65, it's good to have it. All right, so for the 6th step, you get into a push-up position like this. Then the first step is basically you move your foot kind of to where your hand was. And it's good to move your hand to your forehead. Looks stylish when you do that. The next step is you pull this step here, tuck it right behind your knee. So you're in this position right here. And then you go, and then this, so you're here, you've switched hands, and then you want to wrap this leg here, it's called the wrap. Then this foot here, this left, you push it back, you go back into the push-up position. Wrap, push it. Now also, you don't really have to worry about this right now, but ideally you want to keep facing the same direction toward your opponent. Push-up position for that leg out, up here, under the knee, tuck it under the knee, switch, then you wrap this leg, push-up position. Now, as with all steps, you're going to want to practice it going both ways. So here are the 2 tricky parts. Okay. Tricky part number 1 is getting from here to the wrap, and that requires a kind of a jump and a whip. And then this push-up back here, that's kind of tricky. Into the push-up position. Boom, jump, whip, push-up. Whip. Jump, whip. And you see what I do with my free hand? I put it on my forehead. You could also put it on your hip. I like forehead. You can also put it out like this to keep your weight moving forward. Now the other tricky part of the six step that people get confused about is, okay, coming around like this, right? Get that? Once you get done with the wrap, people not sure how do you get back into the push-up position? Well, this leg right here is behind the wrap, so you just push it back. Let's go back into the wrap, like that. Your hand placements when they're on the floor under you are also important. Make sure you place your hand right directly under your hip. So when you're switching, don't put your hand out here or too far back. That's actually my problem a lot of times. So you always want to have your hand directly under your hip so you can make that jump and that whip, because that's how you support yourself, right? Under the hip, under the hip, under the hip, not out there somewhere, not behind you. That's going to make the six step a lot easier. And then of course, as with every dance step, you're going to want to practice it both ways. Learn it one direction first, but pretty soon after you've learned it one direction, practice an equal amount of times going both directions. Now, me being age 65 and not starting breaking until age 54, I have to do a lot of compromises in terms of my six step, in terms of my three step, in terms of all of my breaking. I just don't have the flexibility that a teenager has or somebody in their 20s has. So let's take a look at how the six step is supposed to look. And two guys that I learned quite a bit from is one named Flowmaster and another named Wicked. So let's see what Flowmaster has to say about the six step.
Now it's called the six step, and this step is the basic step of footwork, and this is like your jab of boxing. This sets up everything. So first I'm gonna do it slow, break it down. I'm gonna show it how they did it back in the days and how they're doing it now. So first slow. Six step in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm gonna show you how they did it back in the days. Now, the way they're doing it now. And the difference is, back in the days, they had the whip. When they got here, they whipped it. Whipped. Here, no whip. The whip went out the door. You got to get the whip back. The six step is already foundation for the six step. You got to get the whip back to make it look funky.
So we're probably going to check in with what Flowmaster and Wicked have to say about how breaking should look. And also some other great breakers during the course of this video series. Well, that's it for today. See you back here soon for your next breakdancing lesson for senior citizens. If I can do it, you can do it.